How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper. My goal on this channel is to teach you how to read the rewards of trading, whether the price is going up or down. KPMG Bitcoin report marks a milestone in the Bitcoin ecosystem that should be celebrated. Bitcoiners rejoiced this week when KPMG, one of the biggest four worldwide accounting firms, published a report that underscored how the protocol can contribute in a positive manner to the three pillars of the investing framework, which is environmental, social, and governance. It is an important moment because it represents the first time a mainstream financial institution has gone through the due diligence process on Bitcoin and actually looked through it and not just said, oh, it's a scam. The report documents for a deep dive into the framework's three pillars. KPMG showcases how Bitcoin emissions compare to other key worldwide industries such as tourism, fashion, alluding that is a mere fraction of them. Senator Elizabeth Warren has repeatedly asserted that cryptocurrency is a tool for criminals and said that it's used for the fentanyl trade. KPMG countered these claims and said that the opportunities the protocol presents for financial inclusion, such as crowdfunding Ukraine, providing electricity to Africa, and allowing minorities around the world to participate in an ecosystem and actually have banking behind them, is essential to help them grow. The report acknowledges that the network's rules cannot be changed or modified by those in power, pointing to a robust governance structure that provides a high degree of confidence and that shows that it cannot be altered or changed to bend to how some big group wants it to be. So over on the charts, not very much. Kind of indecisive today. We don't know if we want to go bullish or bearish. We're kind of falling away. We needed that bullish momentum, so this isn't too good if you're hoping for some upside. Our side's starting to weaken. Stochastic has that bullish cross, but it's kind of weak. Money flow is in the bullish territory, but not so strong. VWAP is kind of curling away. Momentum wants to curl up, but if that VWAP gives up the strength, we're not going to see a green dot, and this momentum could ride out this area. Over on Bitcoin dominance, we are getting a reversal arrow, so we were coming up. We have this gap to fill, so it's likely we'll come back down and fill these gaps, so keep an eye out for that. Stochastic is falling, RSI wants to head up, momentum starting to come out. Money flow is struggling to make a new high and stay bullish. Our VWAP is pressing down, so overall we have a little more bearish action than bullish that could happen here, and we could break the support, so it could be a freak break up like this was a freak breakout. Over on Bitcoin futures, we are still within our pattern. RSI is kind of flat, Stochastic's going bearish. Money flow is in the bearish territory, but very weak. VWAP's about the same, and our momentum's starting to head down as our VWAP's not gaining any bullish momentum. So overall, we're slightly more bearish than bullish here, but it's like so-so as we're stretching thin here. Over on Bitcoin, real quick, if you haven't already, like the video, subscribe to the channel, visit our links down below for our Discord and our Reaper apparel merch like I'm wearing. Join that Discord so you can get your hands on some nice cool free stuff. We're about to start 3D printing stuff for our channel, so real good stuff about to happen. Our side is going pretty flat, Stochastic's falling, money flow's trying to make a bounce, VWAP's trying to head up, momentum's trying to come up, so we are trying to get a bit of a bullish pressure here, so that could help push us higher. Over on the 4 hour, we're kind of zigzagging on the bottom, so this is a little worrisome as we could have a little bit of an adverse effect and break down. RSI is overall sliding, Stochastic wants to push up. Our VWAP is trying to push higher, but our money flow is starting to reject away from that neutral. So keep an eye on that, as if that VWAP rejects away from neutral, we could set more bearish pressure and we could get a drop out and see this pattern play. Momentum's trying to come up with our VWAP heading up very strong, but if this VWAP loses its strength here, then we could roll over and see some bearish momentum on that momentum wave. Oops, did not mean to go to the next coin. Over on the 2 hour, kind of getting locked in this little range. So a little bear flag within our bear flag kind of happening. Stochastic's starting to roll over, RSI is going kind of flat, VWAP's starting to weaken. Momentum is in the bullish territory, but starting to round off as our VWAP's losing strength. Our money flow is starting to reject away from that neutral as well, so our money flow could pick up some bearish strength here, so keep an eye out for that. Over on the 1 hour, we do have a green dot that wanted to bring us up after a reversal arrow, but that was not able to happen, and we are starting to get suppressed. Stochastic's starting to drop, RSI's starting to drop, momentum's coming down with the red dot as our VWAP has broken into the bearish territory, and our money our money flow is rejecting away a little bit. So if the money flow keeps going down and we make a new low, we could see a bearish push down and a rejection of this area. Now on graph, now we want to switch. So on our point of control, we are still rejecting away from the point of control for our volume profile. We do have an inverted hammer candle, so that could be a little bit of a bottom signal here. That is followed by a hammer candle, so we have a little bit indecision. So this was a bullish candle, this is a bearish candle. This signaled we could went up, this is signaling we want to drop down. You'll get these usually around tops. Right here we got one, we went flat, then we dropped. So keep that in mind when you get them. Can't find an example right now, but look up hammer candles if you're interested in the difference between them. RSI is sliding, stochastic's falling. Our money flow is trying to head up, VWAP's trying to head up, so our momentum's trying to recover. If we can get a bullish push here, we could see some bullish action. However, with this inverted hammer, we may see bearish push down. Over on the 4 hour, we have a manipulation X that wants to bring us lower. Stochastic is falling, RSI is weakening, our VWAP is heading in the bearish territory, and money flow is rejecting away from that neutral. Our momentum is coming down with a red dot as our VWAP is bearish. So overall, we have more bearish pressure here than any bullish pressure. Over on the 2 hour, stochastic's falling pretty rapidly, RSI is losing strength. Money flow came up into the bullish territory, but didn't stay very long and came back down. Our VWAP is heading back down as well, bringing our momentum down, so overall we have more bearish pressure here, and we could continue to slide. Over on the 1 hour, our RSI is losing strength. Stochastic is pretty beat down, we're not really going anywhere on price, so we're making a bearish divergence there. Momentum's coming down, and our VWAP's rejecting away from that neutral, so if this money flow doesn't maintain this bullish momentum here, and flips back to the bearish side, we could continue that drop and see more bearish action. Over on Anchor, we are starting to kind of fall away from our retest, so this could potentially be an entry point for this breakdown according to how patterns would work. Just be wary of our volume profile, value area low. RSI is sliding, that's not financial advice by the way, I'm just kind of trying to tell you how patterns work if you haven't watched our pattern video in our playlist yet. Stochastic is pretty beat down, VWAP is trying to head up, momentum is coming down, so we're a little wishy-washy here and we could see a drop down. Over on the 4 hour, we have a manipulation X that's dropping us down. Stochastic is falling, RSI wants to get a little bit of a curl, so our RSI wants to pick up some strength here. Keep an eye on that. If it does pick up strength, we could see some bullish action. However, if we continue to drop as we filled our gap, we could just see this pattern play. Our money flow is kind of flat, is trying to go bullish, not really maintaining very strong bullish momentum. So if we flip bearish, we could on the money flow, and the money flow could pick up down. Momentum is coming down, VWAP is trying to head up, so if that VWAP can head up, that could give us a push up and we could invalidate a breakdown. Over on the 2 hour, if we zoom in, you'll see we filled that gap pretty decently back here, came up a little beyond it, so we do still have the gap back here that we could fill. Stochastic is pretty flat, money flow is rejecting away, VWAP's heading up, momentum's trying to come up. Stochastic's trying to bounce and our RSI is trying to get somewhat of a bounce, but with the way this candle's looking, we could get a bit of a retracement as we have a little bit of a gap to fill down here as we gapped up with it and we are dropping. Over on the 1 hour, not quite a gap there, but if you zoom, we have a gap up here that we could fill. There's also a gap around there, so double gap in that area. Gap here, so we have plenty of gaps we could fill on Anchor to the upside. RSI is trying to head up, money flow is overall rounding out, stochastic's trying to head up, our VWAP is in the bullish territory but not very strongly. If our VWAP rolls over here, our momentum could weaken and we could see it drop out, so exercise some caution. Over on the daily for XRP, we're not going too far, so we seem to be holding pretty decent right here. This could be hopeful for a push up, this could be some sort of a support for our range. RSI is sliding, money flow is on the bearish territory, stochastic's beat down. Our VWAP is trying to curl up though and push higher, so if that VWAP can gain bullish momentum, that could save us and push us higher. Momentum does want to kind of curl, so that momentum may get a green dot if that VWAP can go bullish very strong. Over on the 4 hour, you can see we're kind of zigzagging around. We're not really forming a bear flag, as we're slightly making higher lows and higher highs, so we have a slight up channel. Watch out if that does form an up channel, as that's a bearish pattern. Stochastic is falling, RSI is falling, VWAP is slightly in the bearish territory, bringing our momentum down. So if that VWAP continues bearish, we could get a push down. However, if it just gets this peak and pushes back up, that could help give us some bullish momentum. Money flow is starting to slide out overall and pushing lower, so keep an eye out. It's not managing to break through this 19 zone, so if we do get a bounce here, that could signal a bullish move up, and we may be able to cross through the neutral if it continues. Over on the 2 hour, we have Manipulation X that tried to bring us down, didn't bring us too far. Stochastic is falling, RSI is falling, money flow is rejecting away from that neutral. Momentum's coming out, our VWAP is making higher lows, so our VWAP is attempting to break and push toward that neutral. If it can break bullish, we could get a push higher. Over on the 1 hour, Stochastic's overall rounding out pretty sharply, so our Stochastic's not looking very strong. RSI is starting to head down, VWAP is trying to come up still, but it is in the bearish territory. If the VWAP can break through that neutral and hold this time and gain some more strength, we may see that push. However, if we kind of curl off from here, we will see a rejection. Money flow overall is picking up bearish momentum. Our momentum is falling as our VWAP's maintaining bearish strength, so keep an eye out for that. Finally, on algo, we are getting a little bit of a push through our pattern, kind of like I've been suggesting. Stochastic's trying to ramp up, RSI is trying to head up, VWAP's trying to head up, money flow is trying to come up. Our momentum's got a double green dot, so pretty decent day for algo, especially considering it's the only gainer on our list today. Stochastic's pretty overbought right now. RSI looks like it wants to drop, momentum's coming up, VWAP's setting lower highs, so we have a little divergence there. We could come back down for a retest of this kind of support area, so we'll draw that lower. So we could come down, retest this, bounce back up. Money flow is bullish, so money flow does have some strength behind it, so if we can manage to keep this strength, we could see further upside. However, like I said, if we get that retest, don't be too alarmed, unless we were to break through. Stochastic's starting to curl, momentum's heading up, making higher highs, RSI is pushing up, VWAP is in the bullish territory but starting to round off. Our money flow is maintaining bearish territory here, not managing to go bullish, so that is a little concerning for the 2 hour. We'll need this money flow to flip bullish and stay bullish. Over on the 1 hour, our money flow is ramping up pretty decently. We did get several bounces off the neutral, so that is good for us. If that can continue, that can push the other time frames up. VWAP is starting to round off, testing that neutral. Momentum's starting to come down with a red dot. Stochastic does have a slight curl, and our RSI is trending up, so we do have a bit of a push, but just watch for a retest. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a wonderful night.